Anna.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Kimby.
Okay, thanks again, guys. Okay, hi, my name is Falon. I'll be using my phone as my clicker today. So without further ado, let's get started. 1.3 million. This is how many people are affected by texting and driving car crashes in the United States every single year. I got this statistic from textinganddrivingsafety.com. Here are my sources that I have used for my presentation. It takes 8,460 volts to assemble an automobile and one nut to scatter it all over the road. This is said by Unknown, and I got this quote from quotegarden.com. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to address the problem of texting and driving. It's obviously a very huge problem in the United States, especially with the number of smartphones going up every single year. It's becoming a huge necessity in the daily lives of Americans. It's very risky, and it's one of the leading causes of car crashes in the United States, and is also the leading cause of deaths in car crashes in the United States. Smartphone use is increasing, and so are distracted driving accidents. And there's no stop to this increase in the smartphones. It's obviously really huge in our world today. And a cell phone is an extremely dangerous tool behind the wheel. So you can see here's someone texting and driving, and it doesn't look very safe to me. I certainly wouldn't want to be that person. Cell phones are a huge part of our lives, and there's no way that we can make these not a part of our lives without really knowing the risk of texting and driving. And this picture is from blocksimages.com. So texting and driving can be very fatal. It causes many deaths in every state over the years. We really need to stop texting while driving. And I got this image from readytextmessages.net. Today, cell phones are a basic necessity in the United States. Almost every kid over the age of 5 is having a cell phone, which is insane. This number is very high considering, the past few years. Drivers from ages 16 to 70 are affected by the use of cell phones behind the wheel. So that's pretty much every single age of drivers. 16 is when people can start driving, and it's not just teenagers, it's not just adults, it's not just old people, it's everyone. This is a huge problem. Law enforcement definitely frowns on this because of the death it causes, and it's not enforced by everyone. I mean, it's not frowned upon by everyone, but it should be. And that's why I'm here to talk to you today, because I want to inform you about how awful texting and driving can be. It not only causes car crashes, but death, obviously. And this can happen to anyone, so don't think, oh, it can happen to me, because it can happen to you. Here are some statistics. They might come to surprise you, but they might not. You can drive the length of a football field while reading one text message at 55 miles per hour. Think about that. One whole football field by reading one text message. This is crazy. 61% of drivers in the United States admitted to using their phones behind the wheel. This is over half of the people in the United States admitted to this. So over half of the people drive with their phone in their hand looking at it. 38% of drivers in Texas admitted to the same thing. So while that's not as big as half, that's still a huge chunk of people in Texas. Just one state out of 50, so think about that. 2,409 car crashes were caused by cell phones in Texas, and 476 of those were fatal in 2015. That's just last year. There were no deathless days on Texas roadways in 2015. So every single day, one person died from a car accident, whether it be from cell phone or any other reason. This is said by unknown, but I got this from the Texas Department of Transportation website. So I have a story to tell you guys. There was a girl in California who got in a texting and driving accident. Her car rolled 3 times when she was in the accident, and she miraculously lived. And she went on to tell her story to a lot of people. She gave presentations at school. She did all sorts of things. And ironically, almost a year exactly later, up to almost the day, she was involved in another texting and driving accident, which she died from. So it's just an example to show you how it can happen to anyone, and you don't want to take that for granted. Personally, I think texting and driving is wrong, but there are those times when I want to reach down and grab my phone, but I know it's wrong. So I really stress this to you guys that texting and driving can really hurt you. This picture is from St. Augustine CarAccidentLawyer.com. Here are just a few photos of some vehicles that have been in texting and driving accidents. This vehicle was obviously very damaged. The whole front is messed up, all the seats, all the windows, everything is pretty much gone from it. This image is from the AussieOnline.com. Here's a picture of a Corvette basically under a 18-wheeler completely. This person was distracted while driving, and this was a very fatal accident. This was from wafflesatnoon.com, and here's one more picture of a car that was completely split in half, completely destroyed from a texting and driving accident. So hopefully these images speak to you guys. This picture was from blogspot.com. So, like pretty much anything, there are solutions. Prevention to texting and driving is possible. There are so many organizations in the United States that talk about not texting and driving to schools. They bring presentations to schools, they tell their stories, they spread the news about how horrible this is, and they really want to put a stop to this for young drivers. Besides that, there are really cool parental driving apps that are being developed recently. 2 that stood out to me were Self Control and Drive Safe Mode. And these apps basically lock the parent's child's phone while they're driving, and the parent has control of it the whole time. They know where they are, they know what speed they're going. I think this is really great for new drivers because, some can be a little irresponsible. So here's an example of a no texting and driving app. This is an Android app. I got this from Android.com. Besides that, there are a lot of online petitions that you can sign for not texting and driving. TextingandDrivingSafety.com is one. That's a really big one. I know over 600,000 people have signed that petition in the past year or so. And social media is a really great way to get out the message of not texting and driving. There are so many people on social media these days. It's become a serious necessity for people. They feel like they really need to get out there and share everything, and I know people are constantly checking it, which I might be one of those people. And so there are organizations that need to get out there and promote this, or not promote it, but make their account and raise awareness, because so many people look at social media every single day. There are different accounts like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even Snapchat you can raise an awareness on. So my last quote that should definitely leave a message to you is, stay alive, don't text and drive. Never forget that one. This was by Unknown, and I got this from quotegarden.com. So in conclusion, today I talked to you guys about how texting driving is horrible, and it is definitely frowned upon and should be by everybody. It causes lots of car crashes and even causes death, and everyone should understand how awful texting and driving really can be in your lives. And I also talked about how there are really a bunch of solutions that we can use to prevent texting and driving from happening in the future. Thank you, guys. Okay, let me just show you all one more time.